Hello and welcome to Tall Guy Films. Today we're moving from a hard drive to a solid state drive. So as many of you probably know, going to a solid state drive offers really big performance improvements in all sorts of things, particularly boot times and program loading times. Recently, SanDisk had a really good deal on their 960 gigabyte solid state drive. Yes, that is almost a terabyte of storage for only $200, which is a great deal. So obviously, I picked up one, but I decided I might as well document the process of going through and moving from a hard drive to a solid state drive. So I guess let's go ahead and jump in, which I've got some stuff going here, but as soon as that's done, we're going to jump in and move to a solid state drive. Obviously, you guys won't have to wait for this to finish because due to the magic of editing, I am going to be working on it right now. Alright, so now everything I was working on is done. So now we actually get to jump in and do some stuff. So the first step in any kind of process that involves moving all of your data should obviously involve a backup. So if you don't, regularly back up your PC, or even if you do, you should definitely back up right before you start this process, because otherwise, you might have a failure and lose all your data and you wouldn't have anything. So for this, I'm just going with Windows built-in backup tool, which I've got a guide right here, and all the guides and stuff I use, I'll link to in the description, and I also might throw in a card or an annotation or something that will help you find that stuff. So to start out, we're going to go to our control panel, which this might not be relevant when you watch it because Windows 10 is supposedly phasing out the control panel. So, I'll make this big. I don't think you'll be able to see it very well, but like I said, I'm going to link to the guides. This is more of a broad overview of the process rather than specific click this button details. Alright, so control panel, system, and maintenance. I'm not sure where that button is. I'm just going to search system and maintenance. Alright, system and maintenance. Okay. Backup and restore. Alright, there's supposed to be an option that says backup, but I don't see it. So I'm just going to search again because I'm lazy. Backup and restore. Ooh, it says Windows 7, so this might not. Okay. I'm going to see. Because it's got in parentheses Windows 7, so I'm not sure if this is actually the appropriate way to back up. Set up backup. I'm gonna go ahead and go through the process, and if it gives me any warnings, I'm gonna find something else to do. But I don't know why it wouldn't just let me upgrade. And then if I get after the process I'm stuck using Windows 7 again, boo-hoo. I like Windows 10 a lot, but it's not that much of an improvement over Windows 7. Alright. Yes. Alright. Ooh, okay, so it's giving me the option. I don't know if it's going to want to. I've got the disk plugged in, but I use that disk for other things, so I'm not sure if it's going to give me the option to store somewhere within that drive, or if I'm going to have to format the drive. I'm gonna go ahead and look that up. It does not appear to say. So I'm going to be extra safe and, just I'm gonna back up this stuff, which actually I think it might be too big. Oh yeah, it's way too big to put on my other drive. Okay. So hopefully I don't lose all of my data on my external drive when I do this. Alright, backup in progress. So this will run for a while, obviously, so again, by the magic of editing, we'll come back when the backup is done. Alright, so we're back about 3.5 hours later, and me with slightly more disheveled hair. But the backup completed successfully. Everything is good. My concerns that the disk would be formatted and I would lose the data that was on the disk I was backing up to were wrong, which is weird because normally the only options I had were just disks, and normally when you can only select disks and not like subfolders on that disk, which I had intended to put the backup within a subfolder. But normally when that's the case, that means the disk is going to be formatted, but in this case it wasn't. Backed up, good. So now it's time to move on to the next step, which is to shut down so that I can actually take my drive, which is right here, and put it in the computer, and then we'll boot back up. And that'll be that. So let's go ahead and go around after I shut this bad boy down, and we will throw this into the computer. Alright, so now that my computer is successfully shut down, we're going to go ahead and plug this. And you can now see the cramped and cluttered space where my computer resides. As you can see, my cable management skills are a little bit lacking, but I've got the disk right here, so we're going to go ahead and install. And I won't make you guys watch real-time installation, but we're just going to speed this up, and you guys can go ahead and watch me try and squeeze my fat body back here enough to get this drive in my computer. Alright, so that was actually fairly straightforward. You guys saw me pull this out probably. This isn't my main hard drive, I don't think. I've got 2 hard drives in here. I think this is my second one that I have inside, but I'm not sure. If that's my Windows disk, then I'm going to have to come back here and do this again. But theoretically, this is my secondary disk, and my Windows disk is still in here. So I didn't pull out my Windows disk and then put my SSD in. I'm not that dumb. So let's go around and let's boot up, and hopefully this is not my Windows disk. Alright, now is the moment of truth where we find out if I done goofed. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on all my monitors. Now, if it's the right disk, you'll obviously see a Windows 10 boot screen, but if it's the wrong disk, you'll probably see an orange Ubuntu boot screen. But I guess we'll see, so let me go hit the power button. Now, it would probably help if I plugged it back in. There we go. I panicked for a half second there while it wasn't working, but we will now sit back and find out if I done goofed or not. There's the BIOS. Well, for starters, it has to post, which it appears it did that. I'd be surprised if it didn't post. Windows. Okay, I made the right choice. Alright, so now we're going to turn on Windows, and we will come back at the point which I am ready to start migrating data from my hard drive to my solid-state drive, and also hope that my solid-state drive is detected, because if it's not, then we have a whole other endless number of problems, which we have to diagnose, but hopefully, we will come back, not when there's a problem, but when there is a solution. Yeah. Alright, we're ditching the tripod for a second, and we're going with the style of like the kid who doesn't know what they're doing, so they're just kind of holding the camera and pointing it at the screen like this. And I don't actually know anything yet, so for starters, I'm going to find out if the solid-state drive is here. Well, okay. So for starters, the solid-state drive does not appear to be detected. So, yeah. It's got this circly thingy, so maybe it just hasn't shown up yet. Hopefully it hasn't shown... Okay. So the solid-state drive isn't showing up. Yeah, we're gonna let's go over, since we're doing this whole handheld style thing. Let's go over and let's go look at it, because maybe I didn't plug it in right, So let's go check that out. Um. Hmm. Hmm. We'll check the physical connections first, and we'll see what that tells us. And come back here, back to the oh goodness. Okay, cramped and cluttered space. Okay, you guys probably can't see anything, but all the connections appear to be good. Yeah. So it might just be a driver issue or something. So we're gonna come back in a second, and I'm gonna hopefully resolve that when I come back. Alright, so new update. I couldn't get anything, so we're shutting down. What we're gonna do is we're gonna boot into the BIOS, and when we go into the BIOS, we're gonna see if the drive is detected in the BIOS. If it is, then Windows just needs to get that act together. But if it's not detected in the BIOS, then we have a few issues potentially. We have a connection problem. I'll go boot up the computer while we talk. We have a data connection problem, or we have a non-working drive. One of those is a okay thing that I can deal with because I got lots of cables and lots of connectors. The second thing is not so much fun. So we're gonna go into the BIOS. I think I'm hitting the BIOS button. Yep, I am. Alright, there's the BIOS. And as you can see, if I zoom in a little more, like I said, we're doing this not super fancy handheld. That there, the P4, that is the SanDisk drive. That's the boot drive, not sure what that is. That's my drive that I'm trying to get to show up in Windows. And then that's the DVD drive. So we're gonna escape, and then so it's being detected. So now we're gonna go back into Windows, and I'll come back when I have something else to say. But this process, I thought it would be really easy and simple, just time-consuming. But it's turning out to be both time-consuming and not easy and simple. But excuse me, maybe I'll figure something out, and maybe someone else is having a weird problem, and they'll learn something from this video. So that's my goal now, to learn something that's weird and teach it, I guess. I don't know. Bye for now, but I'll be back. Alright, so I performed some wizardry, which I will put a link to the place where I learned the wizardry in the description, so you can learn the wizardry as well. But I got it working, and it's here. So now we're going to go back to tripod from handheld. What I think handheld is more fun, but we're going to go back to tripod. And we're going to go through the remaining steps of moving over to a solid-state drive. Alright, so right now, what we're doing is we're downloading a piece of software called ECUS2do, which is a really sketchy sounding name, but Lifehacker and PC World recommend it. So that's what we're using to clone the drive. So basically, that's what we're going to do. We're going to download the software, and then we're going to clone the drive. But until the software finishes downloading and installing, we're going to skip ahead, and I'm probably going to go get something to eat. But you guys don't need to know that. You guys just need to know that after this quick cut, you're going to be watching me use software to clone my drive. Alright, so this video is going to take a slightly different form now. So from this point on, it's basically just going to be me walking through the software I'm using to back myself up. So let's go ahead and hit the clone button. Alright, so this is okay, so source is going to be all of this, I think. Let's look at the guide, and again I'll post a link to the guide in the description, but we're gonna okay. Alright, that's the source. Okay. And then we're going to the solid state drive. Okay. Hopefully I didn't screw any of this up. Okay, proceed. Moment of truth. This is very, very stress-inducing because I don't know if I did this right. I'm pretty confident I did this right, but there's that 10% chance I'm about to screw everything up. So there's nothing on destination disk. Don't think. I'm gonna double check. Okay. You guys can. Oh wait, no, you can't. Okay. Let's see. E. That's where I'm going. There's nothing in it. It's empty. Okay. And let's see. Target disk E. Okay. Okay. Now, it's probably going to be a very long period of time while it does this. So again, through the power of cuts, we will go to after it is complete, and hopefully, I will be happily booting up on my new solid-state drive and not, panicking because I killed everyone and destroyed everything, Stuff gets weird sometimes, you gotta be careful. Our disk clone is complete, so now we're just gonna hit finish. 2 hours and 12 minutes later. Okay. We're gonna close that down. I'm just gonna check the disk real quick here. See, looks like everything is on there, which is awesome. So now we're gonna shut down. Just like that. And then we're going to restart, go into the BIOS, and we're going to boot from our SSD. And hopefully it will all work just fine. If not, that will be very annoying. But, odds are it'll work. At this point, I've already done so much, I feel like it's going to work. Alright, let's go hit the power button. Oh, ran into a cable there. What is this? I don't know. It's probably not important. Gotta enter the BIOS. Alright, we're booting from this drive. And I see a Windows screen, so the question is, this should be booting off of the SanDisk drive, but there is a possibility that it's still booting off of my old hard drive. So we'll see. It's moving pretty speedy. So this feels like this is a new, faster drive. Oh yeah, this is the SSD. That logon was like instantaneous. This is definitely the solid-state drive. Wow. Okay. So let's go into, legitimately that was blazing fast. Like, normally logging on before I can actually, open up a window like this, it's like a minute. This time it was 5 seconds. This is crazy. Yeah, it's on the solid-state drive. That is awesome. Alright, so yeah, everything is good. Awesome. Okay, so that's, I guess, it for this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Oh yeah, and definitely check out the links I put in the description for all of the online... Oh, Chrome crashed. Oh well, I'll worry about that later. But check the links in the description for all the resources I use, and if you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, definitely subscribe.